Hello, my fellow gamers. It is Omega Silvermoon. Today, I wanted to talk about something serious. This is about when I used to do drugs, and a little reminder to all of you: don't do any drugs if you're straight. Um, and for those of you that are doing drugs, you know, all I all I wanted to tell you is just know your limits because there will be consequences to any type of drug that you're using. And I'm really I'm really paying the price here. Like, I don't know, but this is what happened when I tried drugs too many times. The first drug that I've tried was weed, and at first I didn't have any regrets trying it out, and but it's not like I was addicted to it. I just did it, for fun, because it would make every little thing that I would do a little more interesting and more fun. And the first time I tried it was with my little brother, and believe it or not, he was 14, or I'm not sure when he did drugs, but he was the one that got me into it, kinda. And here's how it all started. We went to a park with our little nephew, and he was about to smoke a sack of weed. So I asked him, I want to try it out. I want to see how it feels. I was curious, and first time I tried it, it was all right. I had a good time with it, and I didn't have any regrets trying it at the time. And from that day on, I would smoke every day with him. Well, not every day, like, I would smoke constantly. Whenever he had it, we would smoke it. And I should have thought of the consequences of what would have happened. Like, my mom didn't really trust me that much anymore. I don't know. That was. I'm pretty sure there was more, but now that I'm sober, um, you know, uh, pretty much everything is kind of going great. But it seems that ever since I've downgraded myself from a high school graduate that had a 2.0 and high and up, I don't know. Things have been slowly, um, I don't know, getting all fucked up. But been smoking for several months after I tried it with my brother. Um, I'm not sure when I tried this other drug. It was called acid, also known as LSD. And at first I was scared because I thought the acid that my brother was talking about was that shit that burns your skin, but it wasn't. It was something totally different. And I think there's two ways you can try it out. It's liquid acid and tabs. And my brother had tabs. And he tells me, he's like, you should try it. It's really fun. It's a different kind of high. It's stronger. And so I was like, oh, all right. So he gave me a tab, and after I think an hour, I started feeling it, and at the time, it felt really great. It was like I was thinking this has got to be one of the best drugs you can ever try, but then again, do not try this drug because it can get a little scary if you use it improperly. And I was lucky to not have a bad trip. So yeah, I would tell my brother this is one of the best drugs ever. And like when you're on acid, you think of so many things that you think is really really cool. Like I don't know, it's hard to explain. Like if you were in an acid trip, you would understand what I was talking about. Like you think everything feels great, that your whole body feels great, and you have so much fun, and like you end up having like long conversations with someone else who is also on acid, and you tend to stutter a lot too. And I'm not sure, but I think that's what the drugs have done to me. I tend to stutter a lot more than I used to now. And yeah, so we would take acid every 6 months because it was a drug that was kind of expensive. It was $10 a tab, and it was kind of hard to find too because you can go to jail for a long time if you either try it or sell it. So I'd pretty much stay away from this drug if you never ever tried any drugs, because you can get in trouble, and not to mention that if you use it improperly, you feel like you're in hell. But luckily, I never had a bad trip on acid, so yeah, it's like you're in heaven if you use it properly, but you're in hell if something, I don't know, something goes wrong. I don't know what triggers bad trips, but for those of you that do drop acid, just know your limits, because if you overdose, you can become perma-fried. Like you're not there anymore. You'll be in a nut house. But you'd have to have thousands of dollars of worth of acid to overdose. So you're pretty much good. And the other drug that I tried, and I strongly do not recommend it because I had a horrible experience with this one, and it was shrooms. Shrooms is another psychedelic drug that my brother would try, and he said that shrooms was kind of like acid but more fun. And I was like, okay. And I would like to eat mushrooms sometimes. It's one of my favorite foods. And I was supposed to eat like 4 of them, but my brother recommended to eat like 6 of them or 7. I can't remember. And so we were walking around eating them. And as we were heading back to the bus to head back home, my right arm started to feel weird. Like, I don't know. I thought it was numb, but it felt ticklish or some shit like that. And I would tell my brother, dude, my arm feels weird. And he was like, really? That's because you're feeling it. And I was like, oh yeah, that's right. We took some of the shrooms. And I wasn't really worrying about it. I was just like, whatever. It's like acid, so I'll just wait for it to kick in. And when I got on the bus, I felt kind of tipsy, and I felt like I wanted to laugh for some reason. And when you're on shrooms and acid, you'll laugh at any little thing. And while we were on the bus, I felt kind of strange, and this wasn't the part where things went wrong. I felt like I wanted to throw up and all this, and I just I started to look down and close my eyes, just to calm down. It was working, and I started to see things when my eyes were closed, like I could see the gears in the bus, and like the sound that it was giving, it just made it looked so cool. Like if I could do an animation of how it looked, like you guys would like you guys would be amazed. Like it was fucking awesome. But then again, do not try this drug because it can get really, really bad. And the part where it got really bad is hours after we got off the bus. I don't know what the hell happened, but I started crying. I started worrying about something, but I think it was because I had school the day after, and this was when I was going to college. And I don't know what the hell was going on. I started crying. My brother was like, "What's wrong?" And I would try to tell him, but I don't know. There was something that was holding me back. Like my mouth would open, but the words just wouldn't come out. Like I would try to tell him what the hell was going on, like what's bothering me, but I just couldn't. And especially when you're on shrooms, it's hard for some reason. I don't know what was going on. And I ended up calling my girlfriend, telling her that I was on shrooms, and that I told her that I was sorry, that I lied to her, that I told her that I wasn't on any drugs, because I told her that I was sobering up, but I wasn't. I was still getting high off of my ass. And I apologized to her. I told her that I wouldn't do any more drugs, but that wasn't really the case. I still kept doing it. And I feel ashamed that I broke a promise with my girlfriend. And not even that made me sober up. So I would still continue to smoke weed, and I promised myself I would never do shrooms again, and I never ever will, because I really don't want to feel like I was in hell again. And so yeah, I just continued to do acid and weed, and let's see. I moved in with my other grandma, and I had a cousin there that would also smoke because his father would smoke weed as well. And that's where things kind of got more complicated. I didn't know that my cousin's father did coke, and my brother would tell me, you know what? He could have laced the coke with the weed. And I was like, oh crap! Like I was doing weed and coke at the same time, and I never wanted to try coke because I think it's unnatural to do that kind of drug. I'm not sure if you can just sniff it up, like most of you know what I mean when how people do coke. And I guess like one day, I think it was around June 21st, I was smoking with my cousin, and then I started to feel like I was gonna die or something for some reason, and I don't know, I started panicking. I thought there was something wrong with my lungs, so I told my aunt and my grandma to take me to the hospital. I went to the hospital. They said it was just anxiety, and there was nothing wrong with my lungs. And I was afraid that they could have found drugs in my system because they drew blood on me. And after that, I still felt it. I still felt that feeling where I thought I was gonna die, and there was something wrong with my lungs. And to this day, I still kind of feel it, but it's not as bad because back then I don't know, it was worse. My anxiety was really, really bad that I would be walking outside, walking back and forth with my hands rubbing against each other a lot. And this is what drugs have done to me. I feel like I'm gonna have this anxiety forever now, and I hope that one day when it goes away forever, I'll be really, really happy. I'm still fighting it whenever it comes. All I gotta do is stay strong, sometimes I feel like I don't have that much time in the world when it happens. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoy this video and this commentary. And again, don't do any drugs. And for those of you who do drugs, know your limits. You know, be careful. You don't want to end up like me, a guy that feels anxiety every day, thinking that he's gonna die. And yeah, that's it. This is Omega Silvermoon, and I'm signing out.